What is this weird red train I found at the main station in Kassel, Germany? Well, let's find out. Alright, so what the hell is this?
Oh, I think I do have some information on it.
If you've been through Kassel, Germany on a high-speed train, you probably went through this station here, Kassel Wilhelmshöhe, or if you watch Jetlog, Kassel Wilhelmshohe, I guess. This was one of the very first high-speed train stations in Germany, and it now acts as the main station for the area. That's not to be confused with this station here, which is Kassel Hauptbahnhof, which is just served by regional trains and also the regional tram, despite Hauptbahnhof literally meaning main station. Myself and my friend Jack, who at this point is basically a co-reporter here on TFTSB, were going from Frankfurt to Hanover on this cloudy day at some indeterminate time in the spring or summer, and we realized that due to how our train connections are lining up, we had a couple of hours layover at Kassel Wilhelmshöhe, which led Jack to say to me, hey, have you ever been to the main station? It's fucking weird as hell. And it is weird as hell.
This platform doesn't have it, but like a lot of these other ones have what used to be a passageway. And you can see it's like all bricked up.
Bizarre station. This is Kassel Hauptbahnhof. It is a stub station with a spaghetti bowl of tracks leading up to it, meaning that trains have to navigate through that to go in, and then have to reverse out. Generally, by the way, we're at Kassel Hauptbahnhof. If you come through here, you'll probably actually go through Kassel Wilhelmshöhe, which is on the high-speed line. Long-distance trains, for the most part, I'm not going to say none of them come here, but pretty much none of them come here to Kassel main station.
The station is only served by regional.
Is it only served by regional?
It's only served by, not even ICs, just regionals.
Oh, and the tram platforms are weird too. They only feature the Spanish solution on exactly one track, but are on a major slope. And some platforms at this station exist and clearly had tracks at one point, but now don't. Oh, and the main building base seems like a covered shopping street more than a station building, and had live music on the day we were there, which is cool. What's not so cool is that it also reeked of urine inside. Oh god, it smells so rank! You know what doesn't reek of urine though? Well, this video is brought to you in part by me, specifically Jamie's public footage archive. Did you know I upload most of my B-roll online for free? And also have help maintaining and uploading to the archive by other friends and creators in this community? Access the archive for your own YouTube, school, or other projects through a free Patreon tier. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'll ask that you give credit, don't use it for anything involving AI, seriously no AI, and a full disclaimer, know that these terms don't apply for commercial use. And I should know, I literally used to work in commercial video production. But none of that is the focus here. No, it's this big red train here. I gathered from the look of it that it was some sort of emergency train, but why exactly is it here in Kassel? I mean, it's a pretty station. Look at the original brick look, but it smells like a urinal. Well, after some research, I found out that this is a very rare train indeed. This is the Rettungszug, or the RTZ if you're feeling classy. Despite Kassel Hauptbahnhof not being along the high-speed line proper, remember how I said Wilhelmshöhe, which is right nearby, is not only along said line, but was also one of the first stations along it? Well, that's why this train is here. Kassel is along the Hanover-Würzburg high-speed line, one of the few stretches of track in Germany that really and truly feels like the future of high-speed rail that I was promised in VHS tapes about trains as a kid. It's not a carriage about the what?
Is that the Minecraft villager?
Ah.
Move it down so you can see it. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? What's going on down there?
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Werkstattfahrt. The bit from Kassel to Göttingen especially is a highlight, filled with tunnels, stunning scenery on the non-tunneled bits, and enough straight track to actually allow the German ICE trains to show what they can do. Several decades on, it's still easily one of the most impressive pieces of rail infrastructure in the entire country. But, running high-speed trains isn't without risk, and Germany is no stranger to high-speed train accident. Ask anyone who's ever lived in Lower Saxony and they'll probably shudder if you mention Ischede, the site of a 1998 ICE accident that killed over 100 people. And with all those tunnels on the bit from Kassel to Hanover, the concern is especially valid. Like, what happens if a train breaks down the tunnel? Or worse, what if it catches on fire? And that brings us back to our big red friend at Kassel Hauptbahnhof. Okay, here's something really weird with the doorways on this red train. They're padded.
Kind of looks like a punching bag. Like a boxing.
Yeah. The consist here is 2 diesel locomotives, one at each end. And yes, diesel. This is to account for any issues involving power being cut to the line. Then there's an equipment wagon filled with rescue equipment, a rolling hospital wagon that can allow treatment for up to 15 people at a time, a rolling firefighting wagon that can contain up to 20,000 liters of water, and 2 different transport wagons, which notably can be sealed off and rely on an independent air supply if need be. Notice that the wagons look like modified shipping containers bolted to flat cars, and that's because, yeah, they more or less are that. These are actually called Wechselsbehalter, literally swap bodies. Modularity is important here, though they are much more robust than any shipping container I've ever seen before. Oh, and the locomotives are equipped with thermal imaging and infrared cameras. Just really impressive stuff here. And if this particular one ever needs to be deployed, along with trained Deutsche Bahn staff, there will also be joined by members of the Kassel Fire Department, with the complement able to go up to 19 firefighters. Now you may be saying, oh shit, that's pretty neat. How much use does this thing get? And the answer may surprise you because it's been used for a major accident exactly literally 0 times. It's never once actually been used for its primary purpose. I mean, it's been rolled out a few times for some smaller uses, but, you know, never once for a major accident, which is maybe a good thing. Now, that's not for good reason besides the fact that, you know, accidents are bad. For a lot of incidents that have happened in the past as well, such a train, or any of its 5 siblings, is overkill. Might just be easier to send road-based rescue vehicles. That's actually what happened in the Shedda back in 1998. Road-based emergency vehicles were determined to be more effective as it was an accident in a much more open area. Why send out the fire rescue vehicles specialized for work in tunnels when fire trucks and ambulances will do the trick much better?
The ambulances will have to wait their turn.
That's not to say the train was just deposited on track 12 at Kassel Hauptbahnhof nearly 40 years ago and hasn't been touched since. It is used for training drills. I hope I don't get copyright claimed. If I do, it's Jack's fault.
Hey.
Now, I want to answer a viewer question before I end off, and one I got on a Reddit post I made about this because, hey, did you know that there's an official TFTSB subreddit? Anyway, this question was, hey, I've lived in Berlin most of my life, why have I never seen this thing? And put simply, that's because none of them are stationed over there. You will not find one of these in a city like Hamburg, Berlin, or Munich. These trains are very specifically normally only on the Hanover-Würzburg and Mannheim-Stuttgart routes, due to those both being some of Germany's oldest high-speed rail lines, and them also having a high density of tunnels. Other lines either have way fewer tunnels, or if they are filled with them, are newer and thus use techniques such as parallel tunnel boring. That basically means if one train has an emergency, passengers can simply walk through a cross package into the safe secondary tunnel. These older ones were smaller and just featured the one bore though, for comparison. Along with this big red here in Kassel, these can also be found in Hildesheim, Fulda, Würzburg, Mannheim, and Kornwestheim, which is more or less near Stuttgart. There's also a secret 7th set that exists just to float around wherever it may be needed, or if worse comes to worse, be cannibalized for parts by the others. So from what I've heard, that one's also usually seen around Fulda. You know, since I love my community, this next 10 off this video, we're actually taking a viewer request from Lightning Flyer in the TFTSB Discord /Revolt server. You should join it. We're going to see how bad the elevators smell at Kassel Hauptbahnhof. Woo!
I made her do it for you. Wait, which platform do we need?
We need this one. There's 2 Federico trams. Yeah, let's go. Oh, well, actually, I gotta be honest, as bad as it smelled inside the station, and while there's clearly debris on the ground in here, it smells like it was very recently cleaned.
Yeah.
You know what? Good on you, Kassel Hauptbahnhof. I do gotta say, it does smell like urine down here. Though, look at that. You can see directly into the tunnel there. That's neat.
That is neat, but this tram does not go to Vimso.
Oh, does it not?
It does not go to Vimso, no.
Oh, well, what are we doing? So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry this one wasn't a particularly funny video, more serious and factual, but honestly, I'm still recovering from my neck injury and a major move, so yeah, bear with me. That moment when the main station feels like an afterthought. Anyways, here's Space Channel 5 Part 2 for the Sega Dreamcast.
Right, left,